So, update, what's been going on here? I got some notes here. Let's see. Got my kids for 2 months. So, doing that. Saw the movie Last Airbender. It's kind of a cool movie. About, sort of a part karate and a lot of special effects of bending air, water, earth, and fire with the mind. Ooh, cool. Went to the 4th of July at the Morton. It's pretty good, pretty cool time. Went to karaoke at the golf course and get these little twerp girls who seem to want to cause trouble for me. I sort of doubt that I'll be going to any more of those, any more karaoke. It seems like people they still remember me after six years. These little twerp girls are probably 21, so they were 15 when all this occurred. So it's just a big old legacy of passing down generation legacy. It's 20 years later, I'll still be hot potatoes here in Smallville. What else? Got locked out of my garage, and I got some recorded stuff I'll show you about. This landlord of mine is really quite a twit. She can't hear, and she's like 70 and incoherent and stubborn, and I don't know about her. Anyways, got a recording. She thinks that she's something else. Anyways, what else? Trouble with more audio with this Brother Aaron thing, and got some audio clips and dealing with grants.gov still, and I'll just display those and just let it be that. It's gonna be quite a long. I think it's quite a bit there. So I'll let you chew on that. Yeah. So I took a shower. I personally don't want.
Okay, let me see if I can get you on speakerphone. Otherwise, I'm gonna have you call myself. Just a minute. Okay, Ernie, how do I do speaker?
Push the speaker.
Huh? Where is it?
Speaker button in the middle and up.
In the middle? Oh, there. Okay, go ahead, Chris.
I guess there's not much to say if I can just talk to Aaron. But if Aaron wants to be quiet, then that was the whole point. I was just trying to say that. One second. My point is, I just wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind talking to Aaron, but he doesn't want to talk.
Okay.
And that's that's the only message that I could really relay is that he should act like an adult instead of a child. So that,
well, I'm privy to the fact that 3 weeks ago, you told him that you don't ever want him to be around your kids. So, privy to the fact that he thought you handled everything very nicely. And he appreciated that, and that was why he listened to you. So I guess at this point, what is there to talk to you about? Because You pretty much told him you don't want him being around you or your kids.
Well, I had said when they're up here, that's not really a problem, but I'm kind of changing my mind on it. I would just like to ask him some questions about why he felt it was okay to just go up and...
I'm privy to the answers he gave you, and that is that he didn't even think of this for you because you guys aren't in the habit of communicating with each other. You have not been communicators probably in your whole adult life as far as friends, okay? So he answered that you're not in the habit of it, and it was a spontaneous event because Carol had a trip there on business. So he must have decided, hey, I might as well do this so I'm not bored, and blah, blah, blah. And that was it. I didn't even know he was going, Chris, okay?
I mean, Aaron is aware that there's sort of a leash on Ramona, right? Aaron's got to be aware of that, right?
No, he was not aware of that at all until you mentioned it to him. Never. May I say something?
Yep.
We never talk about you. We don't talk about Aaron and I when we're together. We never discuss you unless it's a general thing. Like I will tell him like, well, the kids are coming and I'm spending time with Chris and Chris moved here, Chris moved there, but I never discussed anything that had to do with if you had a problem or even if you had a success. We just never talked about you, Chris. So if you had a fight with Mona, he did not know about it. Nobody talks to him about you because they know that there has been hard feelings, that you guys left each other in hard feelings several years ago. And as a result, it was like, okay, you're both mature. Neither one of you badmouthed the other one during all that time. I give you the same credit. Whenever I said I was going out to errands or this or that, you know, just letting you know slight details about him, you never ever badmouthed him. And he has never badmouthed you. What can I say?
Okay, what can you say? Well, I can say that I'm a little bit, or more than a little bit. What me and Aaron's dialogue together was just between the two of us, and he decided to include you and probably Carrie, Steph, and Ramona, and which I had said.
Actually, he didn't. We both agreed that it wouldn't go any further than him and me.
Because in there...
Wait, please.
Okay,
May I just finish what you said?
Yep.
But he did nothing different than what you are doing right now, okay? Same thing. He was in shock. We all were so happy last summer that we could all have really fun one time because the family does know, this much we have discussed, was that our family get-togethers were probably over, that Aaron could be at some and you could be at some, but we couldn't have all five. So that we actually were able to include, first of all, you included your kids. You allowed them to be part of our group without you. And then you later joined it. We were all thrilled. So,
okay, I'm pretty sure that Aaron doesn't just talk to you. Aaron talks to Carrie. Aaron talks to Mona. And Aaron found out through Mona that there was a leash put on Mona of the restriction of seeing my kids. And I'm pretty sure that Aaron was aware of this restriction, decided to...
Well, I'll tell you... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
decided to sneak down there without telling me. Not just... I mean, there's many aspects of not telling me he's going to see my kids, knowing the past, that he would sneak down there and then now conducts himself like a little child when I'm asking him questions about what he's doing. That's the problem. It's the whole package. It's not going down there. It's the aftermath of I'm asking him questions, adult questions, and he's running like a little child, meaning that he's got something to hide. Makes me real nervous. Go ahead.
No, he did answer your questions. He answered them the first time. So he is actually being an adult. What he is saying is that he doesn't want to go over this again and again. He answered you once. Apparently you're not satisfied with that answer. Now I have a question for you. You have no evidence that he has ever known that there is a restraint on him, because first of all, there isn't. I wasn't even aware that Mona is not allowed to see her kids, okay? They have been every summer, so I don't know where in the heck that's coming from. But anyway, let's see, let's go this way. But you don't believe that it hasn't been discussed. So let's just say that Aaron says, I do not know it. Are you going to believe him if he would talk to you?
Okay, well, it would be nice for him to talk to me. See, when he acts like a little child, it means he's got something to hide. So
yeah, no, it's okay. He knows that I don't want family fighting. Sadly.
Well, I mean, this is more than just fighting. I mean, this is about discussing. This is not fighting. I'm not fighting right now. I'm discussing. When he runs away like a little child, then we might get a fight.
That's fighting. That's fighting when you call somebody a name, like a child. That's fighting.
Well, that's what he is. He's a little child.
Okay, so let's leave it at that. You're right.
So is he?
And
So
he's wrong.
So he's okay now.
You're right, and he's wrong. So now that's pretty much it. Am I correct?
Yeah, the restraint of Mona is not a permanent. It simply means that she can only see the kids when I see them. That's the restraint of Mona. At least that's what's happening with Aaron, and now I'm thinking it would just be best if it's a complete restriction. Because he's not.
Excuse me, but Mona has been to the Bahamas 2 or 3 times without you.
Since when?
And she never made a secret. And I never did either. I always knew when she was going, and I went with her one time, I think, too. So you want to tell me where the secret was? And not only that, one time you guys went because you got a freebie, I think, on that one.
Well, that was the last time. That's the last time we went. Can I speak? Okay.
You got a cheap ticket. You didn't get a freebie. I corrected.
Yeah, I went down with her. There was an argument that occurred down in the Bahamas that makes me it makes it a little restricted for me to go down there again, and that after that point, that was the restriction on Mona.
Right, but I doubt that. I never knew about it. I was never told that she couldn't go down there. I know darn well she's gonna go there.
Well, that's why me and Mona talk, because I don't expect her to tell everybody, but I'm pretty sure that she does talk to Aaron, and that Aaron was aware of this.
Do you know how busy Aaron is and Mona is? They do not talk to each other. Aaron doesn't talk to anybody. Chris, I know it's hard to believe. Aaron doesn't talk to any of us unless he's planning on a trip in the area. I'm his mother. We care very deeply about each other, and the only time he has time to call me and chat might be if he has a long-distance drive or a wait at the airport. And that is so seldom. And he never calls Mona. He didn't even stop to see her when he was on his way to the Bahamas, even though they were in Atlanta for 3 hours on a stopover. There wasn't time on either their schedule. You have an imagination here that just isn't true. What we have is an acceptance that there are hard feelings,
I mean,
and that
had he just let me know that he was going to go down and see my kids, this probably wouldn't be happening, you know.
you're right, except that he didn't do it on purpose. You're sure he did. I'm sure that he didn't even know he was going to do it. If I recall, he bought the ticket when he was actually on NASA. It was a spontaneous time.
No, the kids knew about it for 2 weeks. It wasn't spontaneous.
Okay, they knew about it for 2 weeks. So how come they didn't tell you?
They did tell me. That's how I found out.
2 weeks before?
No, about 2 days before.
How come they didn't tell you 2 weeks before?
They don't talk to me every day.
How come you're not talking to them every week?
Are you trying to change the subject now or what?
No, I'm just asking questions. So, that's fine.
Change the subject.
All right, well, I think, Chris, I do think that you have made your point, and you're saying that you might have changed your mind, but now you're not gonna. And that's okay, because he's not even hardly gonna be here for family. He's coming, you know how reunions are, there's never time that long. And I'm not even sure that I'll get to see him that much. So it's not a big deal. Okay? I got to work in the basement again pretty soon, Chris. We had water get in there again. I'm taking everything out now. I'm going through all those tubs and leaving it on the shelves. Anything that goes on the shelves, I'm leaving on the shelves. Everything else is getting thrown away or taken upstairs, so then I don't have to worry if we have any more flooding down there. I am glad that you're not down there this year. It would have been a bad year. Even though you wouldn't have hurt that much, it would have been an inconvenience. So I even had to take your green rugs out and let them dry.
Oh my
The
goodness.
light goes on.
The green
Light
rug,
goes on for this end, and it'll go on for the kids. They'll understand.
the green rug
Yeah.
got the green rugs got wet. Oh wow.
Yeah, but they don't get hurt, so I just took them out to let them dry in the sun. Yeah, the water was all the way over almost by the door this time.
I mean, is there any level of consideration that Aaron has toward me?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That consideration would have been to let me know that he's going to see my kids.
Well, that he can't undo, and I'm sure he wishes he would have.
No, he hasn't said
But I can't discuss it because I don't know what's in his mind, and I will not tell him to discuss it with you.
All right. He has not apologized for his actions, and he doesn't feel any remorse. He feels no remorse for what
Oh
he's done.
yes, if I recall, we discussed it, and he did say that if he would have known that you needed stuff taken over, he said he did not know that there was what that island was like, and you guys just never write to each other, so he made a mistake, but he's not going to live forever in apology of it. And I think that you need to know that his relationship with Maria is separate from his relationship with you, and that he will always be welcome there. And I guess that's what matters.
You know what? I just recently figured out what Aaron's deal is. He's like socially stalking me. He likes to get into the places and the people that affect my life and try to undermine them. Whether it be you, Carrie, Ramona, Steph, gets in with Maria. Do you know that he has had sex with most of the 7th graders that I hung out with back in high school that I never had sex with? He proceeds to be a man with them. He proceeds and be social with them.
He was a boy. If
Right.
he had sex
No,
with
he-
7th graders,
right.
he wasn't a man, he was a boy.
Right, no, well, I'm not saying in 7th grade is when this happened. I'm saying he seeks to stalk the people that I've had social relationships with and proceeds to try to overdo me. Okay, so it's not just that, but then in the professional network, he's richer.
Yes.
He's more. He's got
Yes.
money. He's got.
Yes.
You know, let me
Yes.
talk.
I
You
don't
know,
know.
let me
Yes.
talk. Let me talk.
No, I'm
Let me
not
talk.
going to listen to
Let me talk. Let me talk.
Let's talk
I'm going
about
to give you the
getting
whole. I want to
together.
give you the. You haven't given me my minute timer. God damn it! You keep butting in. Now.
Okay.
Now.
All right.
After this,
Just a minute.
for this professionally,
I
he seems
need to record this, Chris, because you're accusing him of stalking you, and that's a really big accusation.
Yep.
So
Only reason why he's.
I need that because I'm telling you, this is like heading into a court. You know, you're talking about something pretty serious here.
There is no reason for him. There's no reason for him to be friends with Maria. Tell him to stay the hell away from my family, and that includes Maria. She can. If Maria wants to fly down to California, so be it. But without the kids, that's fine. I'm just saying, there's no reason that Aaron needs to be associated with Maria unless he's stalking me. Understood me? Understand me?
You understand
He tries to better relationship with all of my girlfriends from high school, which I didn't bang, which Aaron decided to bang because he wants to be better. He gets better in the professional world because I'm Jesus or God. He's professional. He makes more money. He's happy. He thinks he's happy. So he's trying to interfere with my family life now, and he's going to undermine it by trying to be a better father, be a better person to Maria, solely for the benefit of undermining my social relationship, just like he undermines it with Carrie, Steph, Ramona, and you. Okay?
I don't know how he could have undermined it. Tell me where Carrie hasn't been anything but welcome.
Carrie's been
Towards
fine.
you.
Carrie's been fine. I'm just saying that
Tell me where Steph has been anything but welcoming with you.
Steph's been fine.
Tell me where I have been anything but helpful with you and friends and whatever you needed in the last 12 years. And never, ever did he interrupt in any way my work with you.
Well, just in the last conversation, a little bit earlier today, you had said that he has the right to go down there and see Maria and my kids anytime he wants to. That's an undermining. That's undermining because that is incorrect.
No. That's called freedom, and he can be friends with Maria. Always has been friends with Maria, okay?
The whole purpose in him being
the
friends.
last time they saw each other, they chatted here, they hugged goodbye, yada yada, and I believe that they are on each other's Facebook, and it has nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm, I'm sure. Just like I'll bang in all my 7th grade friends. Sure.
Well, whatever, but that's why I can't have an opinion on that, because I wasn't there, so I can't have an opinion, and I don't blame him if he doesn't want to go back 30 years or 20 years to pubescent sex.
There is absolutely, with 7 billion people on the planet, there's no reason why Aaron and Maria need to be friends unless Aaron is stalking me. He is trying to undermine my social network.
Because Maria and I are friends, Maria and Carrie are friends, Maria and Mona are friends, Maria and Steph is friends, Maria and Aaron is friends. We have always been friends. We all like Maria. There is no reason in the world why we have to give up our friendship with her. I'm sorry, I don't agree with you. So you don't like that answer, and that's okay. Okay?
There's plenty of
Your
people.
minute, time for you.
There's plenty of people to be friends with. There's little reason why Aaron, who literally was in the vicinity of Maria for like 1 hour of his entire life, or no, probably 10 hours, whatever, minimal time ever together, talked ever when we were married, for him to be involved in her life. Other than he wants to be involved, he wants to be a better father to my kids. He wants to even probably bang Maria, if not he hasn't already. He wants to bang everybody that's possible to show what a man he is, and then show what a better father is. And thank God he can't have any kids. Thank God.
Is my turn or not?
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, let's see here. Man, I never thought. Let me see. It has something to do with. It didn't have anything to do with banging. Let's see. You sure do like to go on to the banging. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I know what it was. He spends quite a few days, if not even a week or more, with you and Maria when you were living in Virginia. He got to know her then. He was just a teenager. So it was more than 10 hours of his life.
I'm having trouble remembering that, but...
Okay, well, anyway, you've made your point. I want to talk about this openly with the kids. When they ask, I'm going to just say that there's hard feelings between you, and that as long as, and that, you know, Aaron can be friends with them and your mother and their mother over there. He just maybe can't be here. And that, Chris, I don't know how you're going to handle it on reunions where he is involved in. Your kids are going to miss out, you know? Your kids won't be able to go.
Aaron cannot visit. Aaron cannot visit my kids over there, you know.
You know he can. There's no way you can possibly stop him.
Oh, you want to bet?
I will bet you.
Okay.
I will bet you. You can't get a restraining order against him that would be workable in the Bahamas without it actually being verified, testified, and I don't think Aaron's going to push it. I think he'll respect your wishes, but I'm just saying he can. You can't stop him. You can stop him here, and he's not going to push it here. All right?
No.
You may not even.
I'm making a
you
statement.
may not even come to.
I'm
you may
making a
not even
statement.
come to our house.
Yeah, I'm just saying he cannot see my kids ever again. I'm making that bold
But
statement.
he can't.
No, he
But
can't.
he can't.
No, he can't.
Yeah, he can. They're free agents. They like Aaron. You know, you're like saying that you're going to own your kids after they're 18. Come on. Do you really think that they're going to listen to you when they're adults? When it comes to who their friends can be?
At 18, they can do what they feel like. I want to protect them.
Well, there you go. You protected them.
No, they have.
You have protected them. You have protected them in this country. You won't be able to come to reunions because Aaron will be there, and you will not be allowed to keep them away. We're not going to have strained meetings because you will get upset if they're together. So you can't come with your kids. We get to go off and have fun all the different summers, and your kids sit here with you not getting to have fun. Sorry, I will not hide it from them. I will tell them.
You do realize, okay, can I talk? Okay, you do realize this conversation probably wouldn't be happening if Aaron would keep in communication with me in the email.
Well, you do realize that it's probably best that it is happening because I want the kids to know that you think that he was banging. I'm glad I know this. I didn't know that you thought that he banged all of your friends to show you up.
Yep.
I didn't know that you thought that he was trying to do one over your kids. And I may not say all of this to them while they're this young, but they will understand. I will say to them that I think you are maybe afraid that if they love him a little bit, that they won't love you. And Chris, that is so foolish. They love you so much. And there is room for them to love an uncle. They love their uncles in the Bahamas. Go ahead.
I have no problem with my uncles in the Bahamas. I have a problem with Aaron because of the way he acts. Okay? I'm protecting my kids from what I perceive to be a dangerous person. Aaron considers me dangerous.
Fine.
Aaron considers me dangerous.
That's fine. I will tell
Let
him
me
that.
talk! Let me talk!
I will
You haven't
tell
given me
him
my
that.
minute. Give me my minute. Because I just gave you 2.
I
Now,
gotta
here we
to
go.
the
I'm
basement.
talking.
And
Now,
I'm going to go to the basement, and we're going to continue this in another
you aren't giving me
hour.
my fucking minute, bitch!
I've given you a half an hour, all right? Bye.
I said, hopefully we'll have another trampoline here and out there.
Yeah, Kathy still wants hers. But yeah, otherwise the pool is just fine. Play some basketball and have some fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Go for bike rides and whatever.
All right, we'll just play it by ear then.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's people a lot worse off than we are, so.
Say again?
There's people a lot worse off than we are.
Oh, really? It was pretty bad? Tornadoes hit? Or tornadoes hit?
Pretty much. Tornadoes that didn't touch the ground. You know, mostly people's trees and stuff, but some of our friends had pretty big parts of a tree fall into like the roof and stuff, and so there was that structural damage, and so, I mean, if how we lost the trampoline, well, we're doing all right, I guess.
I mean, it's lucky that trampoline didn't take off and go smash into a house or something,
Right, and I still went down the hill and into the trees instead of coming up with me. And
Yeah.
of course, it would have been nice if it took off the deck, and then we could have a new deck, and that'd be good.
Well, you can kind of fix that. You can just, just call up the insurance, say, hey, we have some more damage. It's right here. After you guys axe up, you just go ahead and, take out the.
Yeah. True. What is your cell phone number now?
It's the
Is
same.
it the 0612?
That's another local line that still works. It's the 6410 number.
Okay. Okay, because I wasn't sure which one was. What is your 0918 number?
The 0612 and the 0918 number are both Skype.
Okay. And your cell phone is actually 6410.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, still 6410 number, yep.
Okay.
So I have three numbers that still work for me. Actually a fourth with Magic Jack if I include my Magic Jack, but it doesn't work that often, so it's not up all the time, so I don't know when that's coming in.
Okay. Yeah, so...
I figured I'd have a phone number for all my split personalities,
Okay. Nice. So how's it been going?
I don't know. I've got I don't know. Maybe you've been hearing I've got little issues with Aaron, but I'm just trying to. He doesn't want to talk to me, so I can't. Anyways, it's complicated. I sent an email off that describes it, so that should describe it all. It's kind of ugly.
What's still going on?
Just, yeah, I don't know. You'll see the email. It describes it in there. I don't know, man. In short, I think Aaron is. It's gonna sound kind of strange, but in a weird kind of fashion, he hates me and he's stalking me in the hopes that my life gets completely ruined, even though it's 3/4 ruined right now. I think he hopes the worst for me. So, it's a weird kind of it's weird. And he hides it well.
Are you, Chris,
I'm sorry?
are you taking your meds because you said you were paranoid? And usually you're not paranoid because you're not taking your meds.
Yeah, well, that's what I didn't want to talk about. It's in the email. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hello?
Hey, Gary, Chris.
Hey.
Hey, just kind of like finish where we, I guess, left off. I guess you mentioned, am I on medication for paranoia? I guess I would have to respond.
I just asked if you were on your meds because you seemed paranoid. I did not say for paranoia. Just want to make sure you're on your meds. It's a bad time to not be on your meds right now if kids coming.
Yeah. I mean, it just.
That was my big question.
It just sounded like I'm not allowed to be paranoid.
No, but I don't know what's all going on with you and Aaron, but your statement to me, not knowing anything that's going on, seems paranoid. And knowing Aaron and knowing you, and, I don't know the history, Chris, so don't assume I know what's going on.
Okay, just curious, when you got for your trampoline, the guides that go up, those things that go up, why did you get those?
Because they came with it.
Because you were afraid that your kids would.
Because they came with it.
Your kids would get hurt, right?
Do you want to ask me how many years they stayed up?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you want to ask me how many years they stayed up?
No, I'm saying you got those things because you were afraid the kids would get hurt without the.
Yeah, they're younger. They were like 5 and 7.
It's about the definition of paranoia. So you were paranoid that they might get hurt, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll play your game, Chris. Yes.
Okay, so I didn't ask you if you needed to get for your meds. I thought that was. I didn't have any rails for when my kids.
Okay, what do you really want to tell me? Because I'm not going to play this game.
Okay, no. I just thought it was very inappropriate for you to be asking me if I should.
I think it's inappropriate that you were just an Aaron when I don't know the whole situation.
You're telling me that I'm not allowed to be paranoid about Aaron. And let me give you another example of paranoia.
No, that wasn't it. All I asked is if you're on your meds because it's a really crappy time with your kids coming and not being on your meds. I think that's a valid question.
If Aaron obeys my questioning and obeys my suggestions about our relationship, there's no paranoid because then I'm at ease. Right now he's saying that he can do whatever he feels like.
Okay.
And that makes me a little nervous because that's not fair because he was paranoid about his wedding and inviting Chris. Do you know why? Because he was paranoid that Chris was going to do something destructive at his wedding. Now, did I ask him if he needs to be on meds for when he did that? Nope, I didn't do that. No. You know what I did?
He didn't have a history of needing meds I mean, I'm sorry if I offended you. I think I've been a pretty supportive person for you.
No.
So I ask you one question, Chris,
Okay.
and you go off the deep end. I think I've been pretty fair to you, Chris.
No.
Think about all that, okay, before you start deciding to bring me in to whatever is going on. Does that make sense? I have not judged you. I asked you one question.
You just
Don't
judged.
make this bigger than it needs to be.
You said that once I'm on drugs, I need to continue the drugs because I'm not allowed to be paranoid.
No, that's you. That is you saying that. I asked you one question, Chris. That's all I asked.
Aaron can be paranoid that I would do something destructive at his wedding.
This has nothing to do with Aaron. Don't bring what I said into what's going on with you and everybody else.
I have concerns for Aaron and the safety of my kids, and you're telling me that I need to go
That's
get my
fine.
kids. It was just.
You are a father. You are allowed to do that. That's fine.
That's right. I am allowed to be paranoid, just like Mona's allowed to be paranoid about her buckling the kids in the back seat, and
Right.
everybody's feeling.
Without ever, I just want to make sure this is not a med issue. That was my only question. And if you're taking your meds the same as you've been, okay. So then that's all I needed to know. You didn't want to talk about it, that's fine. I started to read the email. I didn't read it all, and I didn't listen to all the other stuff either because I'm sorry, I had a tornado come through last night. I've been a little busy.
Okay. I just, when somebody mentions my med thing, because I'm not allowed to be human, to be paranoid, despite the fact that everybody else is allowed to be paranoid, you just asked whether I'm on my meds. As long as I'm on my meds, Carrie, that's irrelevant. You're insulting me again. I'm saying I am allowed to be paranoid about my brother Aaron.
Yes, you are.
Aaron is literally scared for his life when I'm in his presence, okay? And if you think that I can't have the reverse feelings,
oh, no, I'm not saying you can't. I don't know what's all going on, Chris. You made a very bold statement about Aaron that I believe is probably false, but you're not feeling that way and you're allowed to feel that way, okay? So I'll ask you one question. Are you paranoid because you're not taking your meds? That's not how I worded it, but that's what I meant. And you didn't want to answer that, or I stun you or whatever, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. I just want to make sure this isn't an imbalance thing, and that there's seriously concern here, and that's fine. Because there is, obviously, there is something going on here between you two, but I really don't want to be part of it. I mean, what is happening between you two needs to be between you two, because it doesn't need to be involve me, and it doesn't need to involve my family.
You're right. I understand. It just sounds so horrible when somebody says, "Chris, are you on your meds?" Because you're not allowed to be human. That's what's.
That is not what I said. You're adding that part.
Okay.
I just asked that question. Chris, can you answer the question? Are you taking the meds you normally take that you're supposed to take?
I am taking my meds. Yes.
All right. That's all I wanted to know. You read into it more than what I was meaning.
But if
sorry.
I wasn't taking my meds, that wouldn't matter.
Then you have a tendency to be more paranoid, and everything else starts to, bother you more. I've been around this more than anybody's siblings. I think I have a right to ask those questions.
You've been around what about siblings? What?
I've been around you in these situations more than the other siblings. I think I have a right to ask those questions, and I'm not judging you. It's just the way it is.
You're right. I mean, but that's what's so hard is that is the way it is. You're right, but it is still hard to hear.
Well, really, and I try to be as gentle as I can, but you know what? You hit me on a day where I didn't have a lot of time to be patient. So I was a little bit blunt, and I apologize for that.
Well, yeah, thank you for apologizing. And it seems like nobody seems to understand my perspective, and you do. So I'm glad we're able to talk again, and I understand your perspective now, and
and I'm sorry that this is going on between you and Aaron, because on both parties, it sucks. And I hope you guys work it out, because I think it's, you know, I think there could be a lot of good in working out a relationship, but there seems like there needs to be, you know, it's going to take some time. So there needs to be some conversations, not by email, to do that.
Well, Aaron refuses to talk to me, and that's what makes it worse.
Right. I gathered that in the little bit that I read. I mean, I kind of read the emails, but I didn't listen to all the voice memos or whatever yet. Because like I said, I didn't have time to do that today. But, you know, yeah, I don't know everything that's going on, and I don't really want to get in the middle of it. But I am here. You know, I want to spend and have fun, you know, this summer together with the kids and everything. And
yeah, you've been honorable. I do have to say, it's just when you said that, I just thought this is a comment that would come from Aaron's mouth, and I thought that maybe he had like mentioned that to you or something.
no, we haven't talked
Okay.
for a long time.
It would just seem like so Aaron-like. That's why I had to hang up, because I had to like just kind of think about what was just said here. So thank you for talking. I appreciate it.
Well, I wouldn't mean to make it worse.
Yeah.
I just thought, you know, I just want it to be good when the kids get here, and that everything is, you know.
It was just Aaron visited my kids without even contacting me to let me know.
Right.
I mean, I just
Right. I mean, I know that much. I know that much.
It's just
But I don't know why that bothers you so much, and that's because I don't know all the history. I mean, yeah, that would bother me, I guess, nobody's in that situation where...
We've had a conflict, and he figures he can go sneak down there. It's almost like he sneaked down there to see the kids. It's just, that's the way I approached it, and the way he's not responding to me, not talking to me, it sounds as though he had something to hide. That usually that's what happens when you run away. You have something to hide.
Well, if I understand it right, he was with Carol on one of her trips, and then he had free time, so he went to go see them and Long Island. But that's about all I know. So, but since then I know there's been more. You guys have gone back and forth a little more.
How uncourteous can this guy be to me? To not let me know that he's... I mean, we could have brought some... They need a webcam down, another webcam. He didn't even contact me. You know, what, Chris, did they need anything? Because they're in the middle of the boondocks. They got nothing, no technology there. It just seemed so rude. It just seemed deceiving. It seemed conniving to me.
Right. I can see that. You know, I can see that it bothers you because you would have liked to have known that so that he could break stuff down, because obviously he knows technology too. But they're coming here now, and that's where you need to just try to let that go and focus now on the time you're going to spend with them, and try to not make it a big deal, because, you know, they're not going to understand why him coming down there was such a problem, you know.
Well, it's the same reason why it was a problem for me going to Aaron's wedding. The same reason.
Right. But do the kids know that?
Well,
I'm just saying for the kids' sake.
I'm going to have to explain to them. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Just a little bit of courtesy to act like a human being, act like an adult to me.
Right.
I'm so far beneath him that he doesn't have to respond to me. He doesn't have to apologize to me. He hasn't said one apology. He hasn't really explained himself. He wishes not to talk to me. And this is because I'm beneath him. And
Yeah,
probably to
I
him,
can see where you're coming from.
probably to him, I should be on medication so that I stop complaining.
Yeah.
And that's
I did not mean it. When I asked you that, it was not for any other reason than I just want to make sure that, you're feeling good for when the kids come and all that, because you've been doing so good, right?
yes, I have been. You're right. And
Yeah.
I'm glad you understand my perspective. I'm sorry for the confusion. And it's a little mix-up.
Well, yeah, I wish he would talk to you because, do you think that would help at this point?
Well, yeah. That's what I've been asking the whole time. I wouldn't have sent you guys an email had he stopped contacting me.
Okay.
He decided to say, "Well, I don't need to answer to you. I don't need to answer to you, Chris. You're on medications. I'm not. I don't need to respond to you, the likes of you." That's his approach.
That was what he said, okay.
No, that's not what he said. I'm just saying this is his thinking pattern.
Mm-hmm. So, have you had any actual conversations with him?
Not on the phone, no. Just a little bit in email.
Yeah.
A little bit in email, and then
Right.
he decided to put his phone off the hook, and now he's got a filter going on for me. So I decided, well, I need to talk to Kathy now. And so now I spread around the entire family. This was just between me and Aaron. Aaron decides he wants to put the phone off the hook, and then I'm left no choice because Kathy tells me that Aaron insists that he can do whatever he wants with my kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reality of him seeing them is not too often. And just go somewhere when is he there? In August?
Yeah.
Just take him somewhere. Go somewhere fun. Then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about when he's here. It's not that. No, he thinks he can go to the Bahamas anytime he wants.
Yeah, but in our reality, he's not going to do that. He's going to do his own thing, and he's just not responding to you and telling you what you want to hear. He's just being stubborn.
Well, I'm beneath him.
Yeah, maybe. If he's not going to talk to you about it.
Anyways, thank you for talking, Carrie.
I'll see you on, I think, Friday. This coming Friday, we might come to Redwood to go to the water park.
Okay,
It's supposed to be nice all week, so that's good.
cool.
So, all right, well, hang in there and try not to, your kids are coming in 3 days. So try not to let this be your focus and just be excited to see them.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
You waited 10 months now about or whatever it is by 9 months.
Yeah.
So just let that be your focus as much as you can, all right?
Yeah.
All right, hang in there. Go play basketball. Blow off some steam or something.
I'm good. It's just, I mean, thank you for.
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
No problem. No, thank you, and thank you for your apology. You're the only sibling who apologized, maybe besides Steph. But Mona's never apologized to me. Aaron's hasn't. it's just, you're honorable. So I thank you for clearing that up about the meds thing. I appreciate that. So,
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
Have a
We'll
good
see you
evening.
soon.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Brother Falls, who's from?
Hi. My name is Chris Roller.
Okay.
Does that name ring a bell with you?
No? Why?
Well, it appears that a lot of people in town know who I am. I just want to report something. Just kind of run an investigation for me, please. I was over at the Legion on Friday night,
Okay.
and I'm at the bar there. Anyways, I take a step out to go look at the...
Hang on 1 second. Okay, so you're at the bar Friday night?
Yeah, just had one drink. Anyways, I left from some guys come in. I leave just to look at the poster, so I haven't fully left. Some couple guys blurted out, "I wanted to blindside that Chris Roller," and then another guy said the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now I didn't see the face, but there's only a few people in there, like 3 or 4 guys and a girl and the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering if we could find out just what level of threat assessment is in the area because of me.
I don't know why, Chris, should there be?
I don't know why
Have you
either.
done something to target yourself?
I don't know. Can we find that out?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you asked me if I knew who you were. I mean, I'm just assuming that you know some of the law enforcement here, or what?
Well, I used to know of Derek Woodford, but he's no longer there. So
No.
So I don't know of anybody else there. No.
Okay.
What I mean is I used to live in town, and well, anyways, it appears that complete strangers who I've never barely met somehow know my full name and seem to want to blindside me from behind, I guess. So
Have you had some trouble with some people here?
actually, I've been very docile since I've been in
Do you
town.
live in town yet?
I live in town now. Yeah.
You do. Okay. Were you gone for a while?
I was gone for 6 years. Yep.
Okay. So how long have you been back in town here?
About a couple months.
Couple months? You had any trouble with anybody here recently?
Nope. Been an angel. Been an angel.
Boy, I don't know what to tell you then.
Well, I was wondering if you could find out the bartender is. I was wondering if you could find out Rocky Olerud is there. His friend, which is a Pizza Hut manager. I forget his. I can't quite remember his last name. And then the bartender is the taller guy. That's tall, about 6'2", sort of baldish, I guess. If you could find out what's going on, why they would say that. And I didn't hear anybody like stick up for me or anything. This is from around the corner, so I saw no. I didn't go in and confront them afterwards, but I figured I didn't have your number on me at hand on my cell phone. But I've been thinking about it. I said, I should at least report this and find out just what level of threat assessment is upon me because.
Well, did they make any direct threats to you to your face?
Well, I heard it from around the corner.
Yep, and what did they say?
I wanted to blindside Chris Roller.
Okay, so it's not a terroristic threat.
Well, they want to punch me from behind.
Yeah, but it's still not a terroristic threat or anything like that.
So I have to have the bullet in my head for you guys to do something, huh?
No, a terroristic threat is when they confront you and threaten your life. Okay, that's what falls under terroristic type of threats. An indiscriminate talking behind your back type of a threat. It's hard to. They can say what they want to somebody who they're talking with. Okay, if it's not directed at you. Okay. People talk about individuals all the time. They probably thought you weren't going to hear it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Especially if they didn't see you standing right there. All right. You obviously must have some people who don't care for you. I don't know why that is.
Well, it's probably They're probably jealous because I'm God or something. That could be.
I don't know.
I mean, this is, anyways, what I'm trying to find out, though, is if there is a threat, if there's a threat.
If they make a direct threat toward you.
Well, they
Yeah.
did. They did. I heard it. I heard it twice. Some guy said,
Yeah.
one guy said it, and another guy said, I wanted to blindside that Chris Rolla guy. Anyways,
Mhm.
so two guys in the room, and it almost it's like nobody said, hey, shut up. You know, nobody said that. It's almost like everybody wants it. Everybody would like that. So
I don't.
if everybody likes that, why don't you find out for me what's going on so that I can then, if it will make everybody happy to move, I can do that. But you need to find
Well, I
out.
don't. You know, Chris, I think you got to understand, hey, is that whether somebody likes you or not, they can say basically whatever they want about you. When it's in the confidential, you know, they're talking about somebody else. Okay, when it gets to be investigation or something that concerns law enforcement, we're talking a criminal act or direct threats. Okay, if you made somebody mad who we don't know about and they're talking with a buddy, well, they think you walked out or something, they're pretty much free to say about what they want unless they're making specific threats to cause injury or bodily harm. Okay.
Well, I mean,
If there's somebody out there, Chris, that doesn't like you for some reasons, you know, that's the way it is.
and I shouldn't worry about it. I shouldn't worry about it then, or what?
Well, you know, you have an option. I mean, if you know who these people are and they make some direct threats to you, well, then you have the option of getting harassment orders and court orders and these type of things for protection. And if they direct it toward you and confront you, say things to your face, well, that's a disorderly conduct. That's a fifth-degree assault. If it's they're threatening to kill you and that type of thing, well, then that's a terroristic threat. Those are all law enforcement-related issues. Okay?
So,
But if you overhear somebody saying they don't like you, they'd like to punch you, well, obviously there's some people who don't really care for you.
okay, so,
But it doesn't make it a crime.
All right,
Okay?
so-
They just don't like you.
okay, so if somebody wants to commit a terroristic act and they email somebody saying, I want to blow up something, and they're doing it behind everybody's back and not directly to anybody in your face, they're just talking behind people's backs, that's okay.
No, I didn't say that.
Well,
No,
that's-
you're talking about a terroristic act.
Well, no,
right?
but
Okay,
that's
you're
the same
talking
thing.
about some definite things about blowing somebody up,
Right.
and that's a whole different thing than
No.
somebody saying that they don't like you and would like to punch you.
Right, well, as I'm saying, they'd like to punch me, they're doing it behind my back, next thing you know, it's going to happen, right?
Well, you don't know that unless you can see in the future.
Well, you don't know that somebody's going to blow up something if they're just talking about it.
Well, that's right, but normally if somebody's going to blow up something, that's a terroristic act.
They're just talking.
Okay.
They're just talking. They're just talking about punching somebody in the face, just like me. And you're making one analogy that says, oh, we're not going to worry about that Chris Rolla guy, but we're going to worry about this other guy who wants to blow something up.
No,
They're
I didn't
both
say that,
felons.
but you're talking two separate things.
They're both
You know,
felons.
were these people drinking? They were sitting in a bar?
They just came in, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I'm just saying, both of them, if they were to act on what they said, would be felonies. Both of them would be felonies.
No. Not if they punch you. That's a fifth-degree assault. That's not a felony. It's a misdemeanor crime.
That's misdemeanor?
Yep. Simple assault unless they cause bodily harm or they use a weapon, and that's the only time it gets aggravated. Otherwise, you're just talking citation, unless it happens in the presence of an officer, and then we can arrest. So you're just talking a misdemeanor crime right there. Fifth-degree assault, a fight, two people fighting, somebody gets punched, that type of thing. That's a misdemeanor crime.
So this can happen, and I basically just have to live with the fact that people hate me and want to say it behind my back or even to my face, or
Well, I don't know that we can. I would suggest you not worry about really what people you don't know say about you. I mean that's you're starting to become more paranoid than anything, right?
oh, I see. So somebody's
Not everybody's going to like us.
so somebody's
And if somebody confronts you when you're out in public, then that's an issue. But if people talk about you when you walk into a bar and they don't like you and this and that, well, unfortunately in the United States of America, as you know, people can say pretty much what they want until they cross the line of certain things that I talked about.
So I'm becoming paranoid because somebody has around the corner.
Well,
said they want to
obviously,
punch
I mean, obviously you heard them, so you got some people in this area that must not like you, Chris, for whatever reasons. I don't know. I don't know. You must have done something to make some people mad over your past or something. That's all I can guess, right? I don't know you. And I don't know these people who said this, but obviously we got some people who don't care about you.
Well, I mentioned some names. You can conduct an investigation. Rocky Olerud heard it and was maybe even participating in it. I don't even know.
I don't know. I don't know. Did you go back and ask them?
I didn't. I was thinking about it, and
Yeah. So you didn't say anything to Rocky?
Well, I will say something to Rocky. And
You know.
I will ask him now that you're not going to conduct an investigation. I'm going to ask him.
Well, because there hasn't been a crime committed. Okay.
Well, I would like to know.
I told you what the crimes were. I mean, well, if you want to know everybody who doesn't like it, Chris, I can't help you with that. Okay. I mean, if they've been a crime and they said Chris Roller, you know, and they got in your face and they're being confrontational with you and they make some threats to you, that's a crime. Okay. But when you walk out, they don't even think you're there, and they say, you know what, I don't like him, and blah, blah, blah. You know what? That's not a crime, Chris.
Yeah, well, if somebody doesn't like, if somebody doesn't like me, I'm not going to even call you about that, okay? But somebody has said, I want to blindside the guy, punch me from behind. I mean, that's
I mean, you're assuming that.
No, I heard it twice. This is what they said. How am I not supposed to assume it that they said it with out loud, just blaringly out loud, with like intensity, right?
Okay, but you weren't they didn't see you standing right there. They thought you walked out.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
So you're not, yeah, I mean, like I said, they're not saying that they don't even think you're there yet. That's their opinion, okay?
Well,
Now, when they address it directly to you, if you're standing right there, that's a different thing. Because here they thought you left, and then they voiced their opinion, okay? Now, I can't press any charges, and if you were so concerned about it, why didn't you ask them, hey, what do you mean?
Well, I plan on doing
Or
that.
why didn't you call us immediately on Friday so we could go in there?
Because
I
I'm
mean,
calling you.
it's Sunday, Chris.
I'm calling you now.
Yeah, well, now we have no idea what their intent was, anything.
Well, you have no idea because you don't want to conduct an investigation.
Well, no, because there hasn't been a crime committed.
Right. Well, there wasn't one on Friday either. But if I would have called you, it didn't matter when I called you. I was saying.
Well, then we can check it out. Now, what, we're supposed to call up everybody in the bar to see if anybody said anything about you?
There's only 3 or 4 people.
On Friday night in the bar.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. And Rocky Olerud was one of them.
Yeah. The manager from Pizza Hut. And the bartender there, you heard it. It won't be too hard to find who that is. The tall guy.
Did you just walk out then, Chris? After you heard this?
Well, after about 3 or 4 minutes of seeing if they're going to say anymore, yeah.
Oh, so you went back in there?
No, I didn't go back in. I stayed there. I was looking at the posters. I was just around the corner for about 5 minutes while they were talking.
Oh, okay. But then you stayed in there and you didn't ask them what was going on?
Yeah, I wanted to think about it.
Huh. Well, I'll tell you what I can do. I can call Rocky Olerud, but, we're not going to pursue any charges.
No, I'm not asking for charges. I'm just asking for what's going on or why the hatred.
Well, I don't know. I can't answer that for you.
I mean, there are some strangers. I'm just curious. What is the beef? It's been 6 years.
I don't know.
It's been 6 years.
I don't know. I guess if it was me, I would have asked them.
Well, I'm going to ask them now because you're not. Well, I guess.
Well, I would have asked them when I was standing in there. I would have said, "You guys, is there something wrong? Do you know me? Is there a problem with me? You guys have a problem with me?"
Right. Well, I mean, I wanted to think about it.
Oh, well,
I realize.
The unfortunate thing is that they're no longer there, and we don't know who they are.
Well, I know who they are. I'll ask them.
Yeah. Well, that's one way of finding out what somebody. I mean, if somebody's going to say something about you, I guess I would ask them what are they talking about? What do they mean?
Well, Rocky knows who each and every one of those guys. Every one of them. There's only 4 people plus the bartender.
Mm-hmm. And suppose I call Rocky up and they say, you know what? Yeah, they don't like this Chris Roller because of this. That he did this, he did that, he did this.
Sure, I want to know that. Sure. That's exactly what I want to
Okay,
know.
then you just want me to call you up and say, well, Chris, these guys don't like you because of this.
Okay, yeah. No,
That's what you want to know.
Right, no charges. I'm not looking for any charges.
Well, there is no charge
Right.
there because that's their opinion.
Right, right. I just,
Okay?
right. I just want.
Chris, there's tons of people out there because of what I do that hate me, right? And when I walk by, I go into a bar, they got everything. I'd like to smack that sergeant, this and that, right? Okay? I'd like to blow them up, whatever, okay? But that's their opinion. And in the United States of America, as you know, people have opinions about everything. And obviously, somebody doesn't like you. And that's all I can tell you. That's all I'm assuming.
Okay.
Okay? But, that's all you'd possibly would have been able to find out in the first place from them. You know?
I know.
Now, you don't have people coming over to your house sending you threatening letters. You don't have people coming up and confronting you. Right? I mean, you overheard a conversation of two people talking that said that they'd like to blindside you. Right?
It was a conversation among them, all 5 people in there.
How many people were sitting there?
It was.
Everybody was talking about you?
Well, they all heard it. It was a bartender and about 4 people.
So you think they were all together on it?
Oh.
They all consented?
I'm not sure about that. That's what I'd like to find out. Who exactly? I was waiting for a conversation that said, "Hey, you know, we shouldn't talk like that." I didn't hear anybody.
But nobody volunteered that.
Nobody wanted to say that. So I don't know what the impression is, but you know.
I don't know. I can talk to Rocky. I know Rocky. I'll just ask him myself and see what went on there.
All right. I appreciate a call back. Call back if you could.
Yeah. Well, I can find out. I mean, he might have the opinion that you might not want to hear what he has to say.
Oh no.
Right?
No, I want to hear everything.
Okay.
I want.
Chris, what phone number are you calling me from?
507.
Yep.
637. 0918 and
0918.
Yep.
And what's your home address?
It is 806 South Jefferson Street, apartment 2.
And is it Chris or Christopher?
Christopher.
What's your middle name, Chris?
Middle name is Anthony.
Anthony. Roller, Roller.
Yes, sir.
Date of birth?
June 14, 67.
6/14/67 or 57?
67.
67?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, I'll talk with Rocky and just inquire as to what was going on there.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And once I hear from him, I'll let you know what people were talking about there.
All right.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right, Chris.
All right.
Have a good night, then.
You too.
Yep, bye now.
Bye. Yes.
Chris, Sergeant Savati from the police department. Just
Hi.
getting back to you.
Hi.
Well, I spoke with Rocky Olerud,
All right.
and Rocky said that he doesn't recall who the individuals were, but what it was concerning evidently was when you used to live here, there was some internet things going on. Do you recall that?
6 years ago? 6 years
I
ago.
don't know. I'm just telling you what he told me.
I mean, there's been at least okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, that's what he was talking about, that these people thought that you were strange. Okay? And he said nobody confronted him, anything. They thought that he had left, and they were just talking about some of these things that you must have been involved in when you used to live here. Okay?
So, in the 6 years, I mean,
I told you, Chris, we're talking about people's opinions, so
Yep.
you can't ask me to elaborate any more on what they think of you or what you were involved in, right? Because I have no idea.
I mean, it is 6 years later, right? I mean,
I know, but you know how people are, Chris. They don't forgive and forget, right? They don't do that.
well, I mean, some murderers have gotten out of jail after 6 years and are back in society.
Typically what happens, they don't return to the scene of the crime either, right? You know,
I committed no crimes.
I'm talking about murderers. That's what you just said.
No, but I've done no.
We're talking about murderers.
Okay, I've done
I
no
didn't say
crime.
that.
Okay.
I told you what he told me, Chris.
Okay.
Right? That's what it was about. I don't know what you were into 6 years ago, or he said it was some things related to something you were posting on the internet or something. Okay? And obviously you must have offended somebody. And what Rocky said is, I think they thought you had left. And that was their opinion of you. So, I don't know what to tell you more than that.
No, I appreciate it, sir.
Okay, well, that's what it was about. So,
Help me think about this. I mean, if 6 years can go by, some people have committed felonies, probably just in Redwood Falls, and have gotten out and are back in society and are expected. People are expected to be. I committed no crimes. Internet's no crime. I did post something about a devil. I did have a crime in which I posted somebody being a devil, and I got a restraining order.
on the internet? Okay.
Yeah. No, I don't know what specifically they're complaining about, but
I don't know.
I did get in trouble for posting that somebody was the devil.
Okay.
Actually got a misdemeanor for that. Amazing that somebody can strike me, and they can only get a misdemeanor, and I can just post it on the internet, words on a website that somebody's the devil, and I get a misdemeanor for that, yet somebody can strike me.
Well, it depends on the strike, though, right?
Well, you said
well, yeah, but, like I said, a simple fight without significant injuries is a misdemeanor. A fight, if I punch somebody and break their nose, break a tooth, give them stitches, that escalates it, okay? But nobody's assaulted you, Chris. I mean, you were asking me about different crime levels, and I was just telling you, okay? You haven't been assaulted,
no,
right?
No, you're right.
Okay.
You are right,
Okay.
definitely.
But like I said, yeah, the lowest level of assault, Chris, is a misdemeanor. But it goes up, obviously, you know that, all the way up to felony levels. So, but the lowest level of an assault is a fifth degree assault, which is a misdemeanor. So, but I mean, like I told you about these opinions, like I said, Chris, I mean, you might not want to hear. I mean, yeah, it's probably upsetting to you, but there's obviously some people in this area that hasn't forgotten something that you did to them or one of their friends or something, and are still a little bit upset about it, and throw alcohol on top of it if people are drinking, and then people are much more vocal on their opinions, aren't they? Alcohol and opinions aren't a good mix. You know that.
I just assume that 6 years later, I mean, that's a long time.
Well, I think it is, Chris, but, hang around with good people, right? I mean, if you're going places and you don't like people what they're saying or whatnot, hey, avoid them. Try a different place if you want to enjoy a cocktail. Rocky said this happened out at the Legion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, well, I thank you, sir. Thank you that's investigation complete. Thank you very much.
Well, yeah, Chris, I mean, I wouldn't be too concerned about it, hey. I wouldn't let it worry you. I mean, opinions, if you have somebody who starts causing you trouble, harassing you, these type of things, making some threats directly toward you, then you let us know, and we'll address it specifically with that individual. And, find out that information's correct, then there'll be charges pursued. But otherwise, I wouldn't really let it bother you so much, because people have opinions about everything, and some people aren't as forgiving as others,
Okay.
So I just take it for what it's worth. It doesn't mean much.
What's your name, Sergeant what?
Somebody.
Sabati? Okay, thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Okay, Chris, good luck.
Okay.
Redwood Falls Police Department.
Sergeant?
Yes.
Yeah,
Is it Chris?
Yeah. Hi.
Okay.
It's sort of a quick question. Just how long does your record stay on record, I guess, is the question.
On our computer files, our own records?
Yeah, the state, I'm looking at the state here, I don't see it anymore.
Yeah. I don't know what the state state records what the time allotment is, but our records typically stay on file, for good on the individual, because those are contacts or incidents reported. But that's our personal files.
Okay, so is that on a public website? If somebody was to look me
No.
up,
No, if you wanted to see what data there is that we have, you would have to come in the office and get a data release for it. That's our own personal records. That's no state, that's not federal, that's just contacts within the city of Redwood Falls from our police department. So that, most of the time people know what they are. You know what I mean? It's nothing that takes place anywhere else than right here. Things that we respond to.
so if I had an encounter, whatever encounter I had back 2004, there's no way that, I guess I wouldn't mind finding where those records are at, but the only place is, it's not online anymore. It's not online anywhere, correct?
No, not our department stuff, no. And I couldn't tell you about what the state offers or what the federal government offers.
So if I was to apply for a job and they're asking about misdemeanors, do I even include it?
Well, that depends how honest you want to be. Right, Chris? I mean, misdemeanors normally, most places aren't gonna prohibit you from employment for a misdemeanor violation, right? Misdemeanor can be a traffic citation, Well, I think most employers start looking at felonies or these type of things. I don't think you need to worry about a misdemeanor charge.
Well, what was it?
I know of officers that have had misdemeanor charges on them before they started employment.
Yeah. Geek Squad. Yeah, Geek Squad. I was going to try out for them, and they were asking about that. It's like, but it's not so much whether I'm trying to hide it. It's just if it's no longer on my record. That's what I'm asking. If it's no longer on my
you have
record,
to disclose it. Yeah.
So
'Cause I don't know how they would find out anyway. So,
I mean, when they look it up, when employers look up that stuff, where are they looking it up, and for how long are they on there?
Well, I don't know. Us as an employer, when we do background checks on people, right? We run a crim history, okay, and that's through the government, okay, and then we send a background investigator over to where you used to live, and you got to sign all those data releases first, right?
Okay.
And that's where we check. We can check at high schools, we can check banking records, all sorts of things.
Okay. So I was just wondering if I wish I knew more detail about, because I had a whole bunch of stuff on this website, and
A whole bunch of stuff regarding what, Chris?
well, that's the thing. There's a whole bunch of stuff. I literally had a 1,000,000-word website, and I'm not sure what exactly people are still worrying about, or perhaps it is return to the scene of the crime. Maybe it is this devil thing. Maybe there's no room for Satan and Lucifer in one town. You know what I'm saying? Is it?
Chris, I wouldn't worry about that. Like I said, I told you, you can't worry about what people are going to say about you. If we worried about that, Chris, we'd never be able to think straight. I mean, people are going to have all sorts of different opinions about us. You can't let that bother you like that. There's going to be people that care for us and agree with us and like us, and there's other people out there that can't stand the ground we walk on. It's just the way it is.
Well,
it's just people.
Is it possible for perhaps I'm, how do I say this? There could be some negative energy in the air from this partner of mine. I call Satan. I call her she. Now, if she's got negative energy going, and perhaps people are responding based on that negative energy, and they're responding in negative fashion. In other words, they're not really they're not being themselves because of the negative energy. I mean, is this possible?
I don't know. You're killing me.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of like serious. It's like, it's just, you know, if I'm, you know, this is almost like a voodoo thing, you know, and you got to wonder about it sometimes.
Well, I don't know.
If people are just getting riled up because of energy, and you tell it to a psychiatrist, they'll give you some medication, you know. But you know, I sometimes wonder about that.
I don't know. I don't know, because I can't answer a lot of that, you know that. I don't know what's going on, especially when you start talking about things in the spiritual world, right?
Yep, I understand. It's kind of weird, right?
Okay. Nobody knows. All I can worry about is the here and now, you know. And Chris, I mean, if you're looking for jobs, I wouldn't worry about misdemeanor things coming back and haunting you. I really wouldn't, you know. I think somebody's going to hire you on your merits and your abilities.
Yeah.
You know, that's all you can be concerned with. You can't change the past.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I agree. Well, that pretty much answers my question. I appreciate chatting with you.
All right, Chris. That's all right. You know, I had a little bit of time here. I got to head back out again.
Yeah, I'm giving you a little bit of excitement for a Sunday night, you know, right?
I got other things to do too, believe me.
Okay.
But you know, Chris, I hope I answered your questions. But you know, like I said, I mean, if it's all coming back to what those folks were talking about that other night at Legion, I don't think you can worry about that. People are unforgiving at times, you know. And a lot of people should maybe concentrate about their own deeds instead of worrying about what everyone else has done.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, Chris. Have a good night.
Okay. You too. Bye.
Bye now.
I believe you may have called and left a message for me last week.
Are you Danika's boss?
Danica's boss?
Danica,
Yeah.
Danica.
Yeah.
Where do I start? Well, I had this thing called Truth Under Oath, and I may have sounded a little frustrating on my, on your, I don't know what message I left, but I guess I'm a little frustrated. I had this thing called Truth Under Oath, which, where people can't lie under oath. It's sort of a truth mechanism where I provide the truth. And I've been trying to get, some funding for this. I've been asking the courts and everybody, and they refer me to I always get the sort of a push off to somebody else. It's called TruthUnderOath.com, and it's basically a way to get truth in the court system. It's actually implemented. It's basically in a legal system. You have this thing called perjury. Well, with my service, perjury goes away. It makes truth happen, makes better justice. So. What happened? So, in the midst of, it took 3 years to actually find your grant system. So I applied for a couple grants there, and I just under the impression that it's going to, it's not going to. Well, I talked to Danica, and this sounds like it's not going to happen because she wants to read the wording into it the way she feels. I'm trying to figure out a way. So I'm frustrated that I'm trying to get paid for something that's basically a miracle on the planet. I provide better justice on the planet, and I guess I'm a little frustrated, and I may have come across that way. I'm afraid that I'm going to get denied once more, and it's just I just feel that it would be a better system for the whole country if the justice system could implement truth. At least
Danica explained to you that it's a competitive process. So whatever you apply for with a grant, you're competing against any number of other applicants. Right?
Yes, sir.
So if your grant application doesn't score as high as the others, then unfortunately we can't fund it.
Okay. that's where I suspect that there's something amiss in the whole problem, is that how can I be turned down with something as incredible as this? That's the point.
If it doesn't respond to the grant application, the solicitation itself, and it goes through peer review, it's external, peer-reviewed individuals that are reviewing these grants. If they don't find that the application meets the standards that have been set, then it's not going to be funded.
Well,
I would say that you probably want to look to get some assistance in writing your grants, and with somebody who's an experienced grant writer, that may be one of the avenues you look at, so that your grant application will be considered in the same scope as the other applicants.
you see, this doesn't sound right, because I've implemented something. All I have to say is I prevent perjury from happening on the planet, and that's all I need to say. And I expect the money to follow through very quickly.
No, that's not how the grant application process works. You can't just simply say something. You have to follow the grant application guidelines.
I did. I am a good writer, and I wrote very intelligently and comprehensively. I do not need enough. That'd be shocking if somehow I didn't write it right, because I've explained it very thoroughly. I prevent people from lying. I have a truth mechanism which implements better justice. What more can I say?
I don't know, because I don't see your grant application, but if your application doesn't meet the standards that have been set, and the peer reviewers look at it and don't score it high, then that's why it's not getting funded.
I mean, could it? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go on.
I mean, could it be that there is actually? I can actually use this truth under oath to actually do some sort of a healing nature. I can use power of suggestion to heal people. So in the medical arena, I've gotten a complete runaround. That's kind of basically why I went to you guys and I said this is not good, because the health people are they don't actually, and I'm pretty sure they don't actually care about curing people. They just want to get the money so that they can, feed themselves, so that they can hook themselves up and get kickbacks and the whole works. And I just want to be part of that bubble where I'm in that hookup that hookup nature. So what I suspected is that's happening is that this is going to happen in the Department of Justice as well. That if I was to get some funding by now, funding through you guys, I would assume that I'm sure you guys have heard about me. I'm the guy that says he's God, and the God of truth, justice, and I'm pretty sure that everybody in your department has heard about me 3 or 4 years ago, and I would expect to have somebody throw me a bone a while back, but because of that, I suspect that it's somewhat of a fraud with you guys as well. That I have this thing called what I say is Satan, and people say that lawyers are devil's advocates. Well, the lawyers don't want me because they want to lie. They want to lie, and because majority of the legal system is run by lawyers, I'm assuming that it's all. I'm fighting a long battle here. That's my concern is.
Right. I wish there was something we could do to help you here, but there really isn't anything other than I would encourage you to keep applying for grants, but understand that it's a competitive process, and after going through the peer review process, if your grant doesn't rank as high as the others, then there's a very good chance you're not going to get funded. So the best you can do is keep applying and really put forth the effort with it.
Well, sir, I have been trying. I mean, if people do not want the truth because lawyers are running the show, if people don't like that, then it's like you're giving me a fluff and fluffy way of saying, hey, we don't want your service. That's kind of, in other words,
what I'm saying is that your grant applications haven't scored at the level of the funded applications for whatever it is you're applying for. And so you're going to have to write stronger grant applications to compete against those applications that are scoring high. It has nothing to do with lawyers or anything else. It has to do with the actual application that's submitted to BJA and how it is ranked after a peer review, an impartial peer review process. So the effort has to be made on your part as far as submitting a solid application that can compete against the other applications. We'll judge it in the same manner we judge any other application from any other organization.
Maybe I haven't explained what my service is.
No, you have, and I understand what you're saying, but it's about the applications that you're submitting. That's the issue. And if they're not being ranked as high as those applications that do get funded, then it's incumbent upon you to write the strong application.
Sir, I can't write it any stronger. I'm a good writer. I know how to write. I know how to express myself. So that's not it. It's got to be there are powers at hand that say that we do not like this guy, and we don't
know you, so it's not a question of whether we like you or dislike you. The only thing we see is the application that comes in, and that's what we deal with. That's it. Just like we deal with any other application that comes in from any individual or organization or association.
The problem, okay, let me just, the problem with many courtrooms is the he said, she said. He says this in a divorce hearing, she says the counter of it. What I've implemented is a system in which only the truth will be told. Lies cannot be said. Can you imagine just how powerful that is? And somehow I'm turned down because I'm not writing correctly? That doesn't make sense.
What makes sense is that your grant applications are not meeting the standards that the funded applications are. And that means that a stronger application has to come in.
I have created the one and only miracle on this planet, and I need to have an application that's acceptable?
Yes, you do. If you're looking for our funding, you're submitting the grant application, yes.
Okay, I don't know if I said it or not, but I've created the one and only miracle on the planet that creates truth via a portal through God. He has the truth mechanism. I control to make people so they cannot lie. And you're telling me that I'm doing something wrong.
I'm telling you that your grant applications apparently are not meeting the same level that the funded applications are.
Or could it be...
And because in your view, you've created this product that you consider a miracle, does not mean we automatically fund you. We go through a competitive process.
See, I just allege that you're hooking up all your buddies. That's what I allege. See, how do I know?
No, we're not hooking up anybody. Everybody goes through the same competitive process.
But there's always buddies in these competitive process. There's the buddies. There's the Sheck, what's it called? The Mr. Sheck who does the DNA wrongful conviction problem. You know him, and he's going to get hooked up, and he's going to get the grant because he's well known and he's a lawyer. And
the only way that Mr. Sheck is going to get a grant, is going to be awarded funding, is if the application he submits scores at the level it needs to score at. He goes through a competitive process just like anybody else.
My system doesn't require expensive DNA testing. It's very inexpensive. And I don't know what I said it all. I said it all in the application. Low cost, high results, and somehow the lawyers are getting hooked up and I'm not. You know, it just seems like there is a problem, and I just need to address it before I got the turn down. And I know that I suspect that I'm going to get denied, and I just wanted to preempt that and say, listen, I deserve a chance, right?
You deserve the same chance as anybody else. And if your applications score at the same level as other folks, they'll be considered at that time. Certainly. But we don't automatically just fund something because somebody says that this is the best thing since sliced bread. They have to submit an application that proves that.
I have proof. I have a bunch of lawsuits that indicate that people cannot lie under oath. I have proof.
Well, then you need to submit that in your application.
Well, I did make reference to all you have to do is look up in the federal, what's it called, LexisNexis. In there, it's all in there. I made reference to saying that there's some cases in the federal system that to reference if they indeed wish for proof. But I don't think the wrongful convictions. It's a concept, and I don't think they're looking for the 100-page document that's showing all the proof.
Well,
I could be wrong, but they're saying here's some ideas. Do these ideas work? And I'm saying yes, and I have proof. Here's the reference I gave them, and oh boy.
I'm sorry. I wish that, I can't tell you any more than what I've told you. And the fact is that in order to entertain funding one of your requests, then your applications have to be at the level of the other applications. It's a competitive process. We simply don't say, okay, let's give this person money.
Well,
And we don't favor one group over another group.
I realize how the world works, sir. That's hard to swallow, that one. With the way the Congress works and their lobbying and stuff, it's really hard to swallow with the fact that anybody's honest in this world. So, sorry if I've inferred that there's corruption in our justice system, but there's a lot of proof to indicate that. So, anyways, just so you understand my plight, that I'm trying to do my best here to get paid for this. Is there somebody like you, or I don't know, that can that you can inform them of this? It seems like I shouldn't need a grant. It just seems like, oh, hey, we got a way of getting checks on the
that's
plan.
not how we don't have that kind of funding here.
I mean, the government can just cut checks. I know they can, because that's what they have a history of doing. Is so. I just was.
Well, I don't know what branch of the government that is. Here at Justice, we don't do that. So, I don't know what else to tell you other than keep submitting your grant applications and hope that they're as competitive as the applications that we do end up funding. And there's really nothing else Danica can help you with other than what she already has, and there's nothing else I or anybody else can help you with other than to encourage you to keep submitting your application. Okay?
So this hasn't, what I'm submitting here, this service that I've got, this doesn't ring a bell that this would be anything impressive, huh? To maybe talk to your higher ups and say, hey, this guy's got something kind of pretty cool here. It's not impressing you.
No, it's not.
The fact that there could be global truth on the planet.
I find that hard to believe that there can be global truth on the planet. I really do. in no disrespect to you, but I really find that hard to believe.
But if there is, and I have proof of this nature, you'd want to look into it, right?
If there was proof.
There is. Would you like to see I can give you the cases, and I can explain to you if you want. Should we do an email, or can I email it to you, or what?
No.
Well, I have proof.
Submit it in your grant applications with your proof. Okay?
I mean, this is far beyond a grant. This is about a miracle on the planet. So,
that's how we fund projects here, is through a competitive grant process, and that's what you'll have to do. Okay? I can't tell you any more than that.
I have proof. I have proof in the.
I understand you.
Okay.
You believe you have proof, but we have to see the proof through a competitive grant process.
Sir, in a submittal, I don't even need to show cases. All you need to do is try to submit a lie in front of a notary. I submitted it. Here's how you prove it right here. Just go to your local notary, so you can walk two doors down to your favorite, two rooms down to your notary, and you can see it work. Now, I hope when I'm getting denied that if they say, well, Chris, we tried out your service, we broke it, we were able to lie under oath, I just get the feeling that I'm not going to hear that. And so I'm going to, so even though I got something that works, they choose to say that, well, Chris, you didn't dot your T's and cross your I's.
No, it's not a question of dotting your I's and crossing your T's. It's about submitting strong grant applications. That's the best I can tell you. Okay? I wish I could tell you more, but that's it.
What's your name again, sir?
Andrew Malloy.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Ursula, it's Chris Fuller, apartment 2. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
My phone connection is bad. I'm going to give you a call back in a second. I got to call back in a second. Oh wait, it's better now. Okay, so did you find a master key?
I'm not positive. What did you do? Lock him in the garage?
Yes.
Well, I don't think I have. I don't think I have another key for the garage. I'll tell you what. There's a master locksman in Redwood Falls. I'll give you his number, and you can call him, and he can come and pick the lock for you.
Okay, what's his name?
Will you hold on a minute?
Yep.
Are you there?
Yep.
Do you have a pencil and paper?
Sure do.
Okay. The master locksmith there is Ralph Hope, K-O-L-P.
Okay.
And His number is 507
Okay.
637
Okay.
5143.
Okay. You don't have a master? You don't have any backup keys to your garages?
No.
I mean, is that normal for a landlord not to have backup keys for their equipment?
No, it isn't. And you can call him, and he could pick the lock for you. But that is your expense, not mine. Yours.
You don't assume any responsibility for not having keys to your property.
I can't hear you.
So you don't assume any responsibility for not having keys to your property.
Not for the keys, not for sure. That's for sure.
You have a key to the apartment, right?
I have a key for the apartment.
But you don't have a key to the garage.
No.
How do you make the distinction between having a key for the apartment and having a key for the garage?
Well, that's just the way it is. So you can call him, and he lives right there in Redwood Falls.
So you make the rules, I guess, for your equipment. I basically own your equipment whenever you feel like it. Is that how it works?
Well, we don't have to speak about that. I told you this, and this is the way it is.
You were a bit nasty to me yesterday, telling me I'm some kind of fool for locking my keys, and yet who's the fool who doesn't have backup keys to their own crap? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can't help it that you locked them in, can I?
I can help it. I can run the sleepy eye and pick up the backup set right now. But you don't have a backup set because you don't have your shit together.
Well, I beg your pardon. You take the number and call him, and he'll take care of it for you. It might cost you $10. I don't know.
Well, I hope so. That's all it is. That's no problem. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Yeah.
Ursula, it's Chris Roller in apartment 2. Your water softener is faulty. It's spewing out. It's like drinking salt water. The water is way too salty.
Yeah, sure. Well, it's funny. Nobody else mentioned it. You said it's what? Hello?
Yeah, it's like drinking salt water. You can't really drink it. It's too salty. Something's wrong with the water softener.
Well, nobody has mentioned it to me.
All right. Well, I guess I'm the first, but I'll talk to the other tenants here and see what they think. Okay. Just letting you know. I am curious why I wasn't. I'm curious why I wasn't invited to submit an application, and I can imagine it can be any excuse. I have a new way of thinking, which it's really simple. It's a really simple cure to autism, potentially.
How closely did what you proposed match with what we were looking for? I mean, that's why the decisions were made based on the information provided in the program announcement.
Yeah, it just says it's not invited to submit an application, and it's like there's no really explanation.
No. The program announcement, which was the original document that you looked at regarding the program when you wrote your pre-proposal, that also contains information as to what they were looking for the pre-applications. How closely did you match up with that?
Well, very close. I have a way of curing autism with using power of suggestion. Well, it's under oath. That's actually the name of my presentation is Truth Under Oath. presented as
Who am I
well.
speaking with?
Say again?
Who am I speaking with?
My name is Chris Roller. I have the application is AR1000029.
And there is no information that I can share regarding why you weren't invited, other than they didn't feel that your proposal was a good fit.
Okay. Well, I'm under the impression that that the whole why is the Army putting forth efforts to cure the uncurable? Why are they doing this?
All of our funds are congressionally directed, so it's not necessarily the Army.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's who I'm talking to. Is you're an Army representative, right?
I'm a Department of Defense representative, and actually I'm
Okay, you're DOD. Why is the DOD involved in curing the uncurable?
I don't know. I don't know how to answer that.
What I'm getting at, I'm unhappy with how I'm being treated. I claim to be God, and as such, it's a weird thing, but I have a thing which I've implemented under the oath. It's actually a miracle. Under the oath, I prevent people from lying, so I use that technology to say that if you're under oath and you say that I do not have autism, it makes it so. Very simple, very, very simple proposal how I propose this, and I'm being turned down in every aspect. So what I've been talking to people there. I talked to Jenny, which, are you Jenny?
I am.
Oh, you're Jenny. I've talked with you before. Yeah, I'm under the impression that it's a sham. The whole thing is a sham.
I know. I've seen your emails that you forwarded to our legal department.
So, so how do you put me at ease that this might be a sham?
It's not a sham. You can go and look at our website and see the other abstracts for people that we have funded.
Right. And how do I know those people aren't your buddies that are just getting hooked up and you're getting kickbacks?
Well, their names and their institutions are there. You can certainly make phone calls to them yourself and confirm it.
Oh, right. I'm sure they're going to admit that, right?
Because they're going to admit what? That it's a sham?
That they're getting
Break the phone go if it's a sham.
Well, I mean that they're getting kickbacks.
We don't do kickbacks. I mean, your whole... I'm sorry, I really shouldn't be speaking with you. Legal said not to have contact with you. Have a good day.
Well, have legal contact with you.
TD Murphy Help Desk, this is Randy.
Hi, could I have the number for your legal department?
Our legal department?
Yeah.
I don't know that we really have a legal department, unfortunately.
Well, do you know Jenny?
Jenny made it, sure.
Okay, well, I guess I'm on legal alert there. Legal alert because I'm unhappy with, I suspect that you guys are conducting a sham. And so she hung up on me saying that I can only talk with the legal department. So before she hung up, I didn't get the number. She wouldn't give me, she just hung up. What I need is, I guess I can only talk to the legal department because I guess you don't have people who are upset at your behavior. So I can't believe I'm the first. I think that this is a sham. Are you guys conducting a sham? DOD is trying to cure miracles. So can I get the number to the legal department so that I can talk to them? Because I guess I've been referred to them.
Okay, yeah, I'm not aware that we have one, but I guess we must have lawyers somewhere. If you hold on 1 second, I'll try and find a number for you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
So they don't have a legal department, yet I've been referred to them. Sounds like a big old runaround to me.
Sorry about the wait there. I just can't seem to dig up a number for the legal department. I'm not even sure where to go with that, but we can definitely escalate the issue up to managers, and if you really need to talk to somebody, we can have someone call you.
Well, I'm just trying to find out what is going on here, that I can't be given a chance, that nobody's telling me that my stuff's not working. It almost sounds as though we don't care if you can do cures. We don't care. We're just going to hook up what I allege is that you're hooking up your buddies and getting kickbacks, and it's frustrating because anyways, it's just frustrating. Anyways, so I guess I was hung up on because I guess all my emails now are going through the legal department now. So if you have a number to that, but you don't, so.
No, yeah, I couldn't find anything. We're really kind of restricted as to what numbers we can give out, but in this case, I don't even know where to look. I'm sorry. I know we must have legal representation somewhere, and as soon as I can figure out who the proper person is, I can have them give you a call.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay, what's your number, sir? I'm sorry, I didn't get your name either.
My name's Chris Roller, like steamroller skate.
Okay.
And the number's 507-637-0918.
0918. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't help you now, sir, but we'll definitely get someone in contact with you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.